G'day, I'm David Brown. Today we're testing the Alfa Romeo SUV Tonale plug-in electric hybrid. Is this a travesty, a disappointment, or a practical reality for the modern world? Because it's an Alfa Romeo that is not a sports car nor a sporty saloon. The fact is that if you are a car manufacturer and you are not building SUVs, chances are you're not selling many cars. So, does this fit a good pattern? Let's have a look at the Alfa Romeo Tonale HEV. So the front of the Alfa Romeo, back in their sedan days of the 156, they began this pattern of the three lights, and that went to the 159. I thought it was a really great look and is generally accepted as a very good overall design. I think this does it. LED matrix adaptable high beam headlights help it as well. One thing you note, of course, it is asymmetric. The number plate is over on the left, and that leaves this free to show the full dial here. Now, the PR words for the front of the car is that it has a dark Miron Scudetto front grille finish and a dark Miron body kit with matte inserts. To me, it just looks rather nice balance, but those aren't words that many people might be empowered by. So I think the overall front look is really very good. I some time ago, gave the Alfa Romeo 159 the award of the car that looks best if you're going through a rich suburb. It's a little different. It's not just a Mercedes. It has its own style and it looks good. Let's have a look around the side. I love the fact that they have the Italian flag symbol here. It just touches it off as something, along with Veloce as the brand name. And of course, it only comes with one model variant for this plug-in electric hybrid. Tyres, 19-inch. The brakes have that bright red Brembo caliper to them. Now, they're a 40 profile. Now, that's quite low, which makes for good handling, but perhaps a little noise, particularly on bumps and even on the coarser standard roads.
If you value independent journalism or simply enjoyed the video, please support the channel by hitting like and subscribe.
I'm going to step out of it because I think that side view is really quite distinctive with the clover leaf wheels to them. Some people might not like it. I think it just makes it stand out. There are many of the mag wheels which are just spokes, which look a little bit better, but not much, than an upmarket people mover. These look, I think, very distinctive. Now, on the back, I'm going to talk here a little bit about what the PR says about this back area here. I'll quote their words. With the introduction of the Alfa Romeo Tonale plug-in hybrid Q4, the historic Alfa Romeo logo has been reinterpreted to highlight the brand's electrification process. The elegant Electro Biscioni serigraphy placed on the left rear window stands out on the Tonale plug-in hybrid Q4 and is emphasized by dark tinted privacy glass. The Alfa Romeo symbol is a representation of Milan, where they started, and it's the red cross, but also a serpent. But in this case, it's not breathing fire or a forked tongue. It is more an electric connection. Now, going around the back, it's hard to make the back of an SUV look anything but normal, but with a little bit of a slope here, a little bit of the not quite full fastback. I think that makes a big difference. It doesn't make it look just square. Let's have a look in the back. Getting into the back, it is an SUV, but gee, I still got to duck my head to get underneath it. But I've got to say, we've got the passenger seat forward a little bit. That's roomy. I'm comfortable there. I'm getting reasonable support underneath. I can put my feet under here. I'm sitting up almost a little bit like theatre style, and that's probably why this seat was high and I had to duck to get under, but it gives me a view. I feel less claustrophobic. I'm not uncomfortable with this, given that there must be a little bit of headroom cramping. There's about no, 3/4 an inch or so clearance, but that's to do with the sunroof as well. But I've got to say, quite surprising. Oh, that's the plug-in, right? So there's the plug-in for that, and it gives me an idea of how much I've charged. But the petrol is on the other side here. You'll notice it does take E10, but you need a minimum RON of 95. So you can take the more environmentally sensitive fuel, but you have to give it some RON if you take the normal straight fuel type. So here we are in the Alfa Romeo Tonale. Getting in, I could see down here a nice little bit of aluminium skirting board that shows me the name. Quite common these days. By the way, when I was getting in, it doesn't have a proximity key. That is, if you walk up to it, the door doesn't unlock. You do have to touch the handle, but you can do it without a key. Once I'm inside, I've got the nice leather seats with the Alfa Romeo insignia within them, and also some grey stitching, which is not over the top. Sometimes you can get in sort of hot hatches, they have a very bright red stitching to make the point. This is more subdued. Sitting here, I do have an electric seat, which I like. I've put that way back, but the thing I particularly like is that the steering wheel is not too far away. I'm still got some being able to bend my arms a little without having to compromise the claustrophobic effect I get on my legs if I have to move too close. The starting button is on the steering wheel, which is quite often confusing. Now, makes a little musical noise. The thing that often happens with an electric vehicle is that you get in and it might start. You've done what you have to do to start, but of course you've got no sound. Now, this is not a full electric, it's a plug-in electric hybrid, but the point about it is that it always tries to go to the electric power. Even if the battery is relatively flat, it won't start the petrol engine. But it does tell you that it's ready to go. Just a little comfort feature for someone that doesn't know the car to get into it and say, "All right, I know that it is raring to go." For some reason, I've got to keep turning on this screen every time. Now, that's a 10 and a bit inch screen here, very clear. The graphics on it are wonderfully clear. But in front of me is a bigger screen, all digital across by the time you look at the total distance. Standard, well, relatively standard, speedo on the left, tacho on the right, although the tacho reads in an anti-clockwise direction, but it is very clear. Now, they call this a TFT look to it. That's thin film transistor, TFT. But they also call it canocchiale. Now, that's one word in Italian, I believe, for telescope. Not the only one, but one particularly that means a telescope that you can carry around, more portable. But this obviously isn't, apart from the car moving. Well, why that? Why telescope? Not that you have to look to see it, but that it's got these binnacles that look a little bit, with two rounded sides, almost like binoculars more than, say, a telescope. Now, what else have we got? It's got the usual number of features that I think are rather helpful. It does have a charge pad for the your telephone there, and a number of connectors that you can do. And it gets Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It also has an Alpha Customer Connect. And I presume that means, like most of them, that if you break down or have an accident, your airbags go off, that it will contact the authorities and tell you what it is. Now, number of comfort features: heated steering wheel, okay. It's got heated nozzles in the washers, possibly more for European snowy conditions than what we are, but Heated seats, yeah, we expect that, and cooled seats as well. I love that. It makes it particularly comfortable in Australian conditions. Now, this is only available in one variant, the Veloce, and that's the upmarket one. So while the plug-in electric hybrid is $21,000 more, which is quite a lot, it is a case where you're getting the upmarket version, which includes things like the sunroof, and it's got a 14 speaker card-on manufactured speaker system, which I believe is pretty good. So all in all, in sitting in the car, it is, I think, got that certain elegant feel about it. Not over sporty, but certainly not cheap thrills. It has some class, some character.
Have your own thoughts? We'd love to hear them, good, bad, or in between. Have a chat with us by dropping a comment below.